Good morning and congratulations. Really. I'm Raymond Duvall, the Interim Dean of the College of Liberal Arts. It's my very great pleasure to welcome members of the class of 2014, as well as parents and families, supporters and friends, to our spring 2014 commencement. I'm also pleased to welcome several special guests who are here to celebrate with us the class of 2014. First, I would like to introduce University of Minnesota Regent Richard Beeson, who is the chair of the university's Board of Regents. We are also honored to have with us Robert McMaster, who is Vice Provost for Undergraduate Education for the University of Minnesota. Danita Brown Young, who is Vice Provost for Student Affairs. Serge Ruda, who is Founding Director, University Honors Program, and Professor of Physics. CLA Associate Deans and faculty from across the college. Our distinguished keynote speaker, the Honorable R.T. Rybeck. Our student speaker, Maxwell Davis. Our student musicians from the School of Music performing under the direction of Timothy Deem, Director of Marching Band and Assistant Director of Bands. Our soloist, Philip Zavisha, Assistant Professor in the School of Music, who just led us in a powerful and moving version of the first stanza of God Bless America. Pianist, School of Music alumna, Laura Edman. Before we proceed, let's have a round of applause for our wonderful musicians and singers. Today, we are here to celebrate the culmination of personal and educational journeys on the part of all of those seated in front of us. We also celebrate your commencement of a new journey, one that promises not only the rewards of a career, but also the many less tangible intellectual and personal rewards of a fulfilling life. We celebrate your commitment to your educational goals and your perseverance in achieving those goals. And perhaps most importantly, we celebrate the knowledge that you leave here prepared by your CLA education to continue learning, to live creatively and mindfully, to contribute to your communities, and to change the world for the better. Over the decades ahead, you'll look back on your years at the University of Minnesota as a time of transformation. You'll remember the dreams that you had, the ambitions, the beliefs that were challenged, and the values that were tested. You'll look back on new paths discovered while a student here and subsequently, and of new prospects that are unfolding. There is, I suggest, no better preparation for real life than the liberal arts education that has brought you to this day, and that now launches you into your life and career in the larger world. With your CLA degree in hand, you will take with you the values and skills that you will need over your lifetime to break new ground, to lead communities and organizations, as for example, Mayor Rybeck, to think globally across cultures and beyond the moment, and to envision and help build the future. Your promise is great, and so is your challenge. You and others of your generation will decide what kind of world this will be in 50 years. When you leave here today, you will join tens of thousands of CLA alumni who are out there in the world making a difference in every sector of human endeavor. It gives me great pride to celebrate this occasion with you and to salute you as you graduate from the University of Minnesota's College of Liberal Arts as a member of the class of 2014. I hope you are all very proud to be alumni of CLA, as we are to welcome you into our large and distinguished CLA family. I extend to you and your families and friends my warmest congratulations. I want to take one moment before we move forward to thank some very special people. And this is an opportunity for you, the graduating class, to join with me. I know that you did not get here without the support and encouragement of people close to you. Today, we have a chance to thank those who have stood by you all throughout this journey, provided support, provided love, provided encouragement over the years. So what I ask is, if you are a friend or family member of one of our graduates, would you please stand and allow the class of 2014 to demonstrate their gratitude to you. It's always a special pleasure to recognize outstanding achievements of CLA's talented students. And so it gives me special pleasure now to introduce Maxwell Davis, today's very accomplished student speaker. Maxwell is receiving his degree with honors in both philosophy and French. As a student, he has been a CLA and university admissions ambassador, a mentor to first-year students, a French tutor, a Welcome Week leader, and a CLA student board officer. He's also the student board's liaison with the CLA Alumni Society Board. So he's beginning already to feel his way into serving as an alumnus of this college. Even while juggling all of this and more, he maintained an almost perfect grade point average. He's also managed to become not only fluent in French, but proficient in Chinese as well. That looks like a pretty good resume from my perspective to continue his ambassadorial role, but now probably on a different stage. And I have it on good authority that he will be up to the challenge of being an ambassador at large. He's a great listener who enjoys the challenge of thinking through a problem, gauging the temperature of a group, and then helping to steer conversation to a resolution. To me, that spells leadership. Please give a warm welcome to the remarkable young man, Maxwell Davis.
Thank you, Dean Duval. Thank you for the people making signs at me over there. And thank you, all faculty, friends, and family for coming here today to support us. You know, this isn't my first commencement. Almost exactly 2 years ago, I was in this very building, listening to similarly encouraging speeches and wearing a fancy gown. Of course, I was not graduating, but was rather a student volunteer, like those maroon-gowned individuals you see around this arena today. I'm sure any of you who also happened to be at this particular ceremony, whether to graduate, support a loved one, or volunteer like myself, can attest to the splendor of the occasion. I recall the keynote speaker was Dessa, a talented musician and former philosophy major at the U. And as a current philosophy major, I could not imagine a more fitting keynote speaker. Needless to say, I could hardly wait for my own graduation to come. All too soon, I began my senior year, and shortly thereafter, received the call for student speaker applications for commencement. I thought to myself, Max, now's the time to follow in Dessa's philosophical footsteps. And truly, I was in the perfect position to do just that. First of all, there just aren't that many of us philosophy majors around to carry this torch. And secondly, not only did I volunteer at that ceremony in 2012, but I also helped select the student speaker that year. Buried in the archives of my UMN email were pages of previous submissions, which would help as the sample from which I would synthesize the ultimate commencement speech. After a bit of research, I stumbled upon the perfect speech submission. It told the touching tale of an international student who had spent half his life growing up here in Minnesota, growing to love the state, and although he was not a citizen of Minnesota or even the US, he was no longer a visitor, for he's finally graduating a Golden Gopher. There was a problem, though. I couldn't just copy his whole speech word for word. I had avoided committing plagiarism for my entire academic career, and I wasn't about to start during my graduation ceremony. Then I realized that the reason the speech sounded so suitable for a student speaker was because he actually was the student speaker back in 2012. Combined with the fact that my home state of Wisconsin isn't exactly international territory, this revelation quashed my hopes of using a speech in any way. I tell you all this not only because I have a penchant for storytelling, but because in my review of those old speech submissions, I realized that anything I say now has no doubt been said better previously. Sure, I could use my philosophical background to say what we as a class ought to do, or give a lesson in epistemology reminding you all what we've come to know. But in fact, even that lesson would be outclassed by a short letter my mother wrote me during Welcome Week 4 years ago. Concerning knowledge in my college career, she wrote, "I know you will do fine, because you always have." And these words are as appropriate today as they were then. Why fret over our futures when our successes are so clearly manifest in our imminent graduation? After all, inductive reasoning tells us that with over 2 decades of success, it's unlikely that tomorrow will be any different. Indeed, this was a theme in every old speech submission I read. I think one put it best when they wrote, instead of focusing on what is, think about what, instead of thinking about what is, think about what is. Obviously, it's not my word. Okay. Yet, this list remains incomplete without what has been, our past. The first time I saw many of you was during Welcome Week in fall of 2010. During College Day, we all assembled in Northrop as the class of 2014 for CLA, and as far as I know, until now, such a complete gathering has not been replicated. How fitting, then, that Northrop closed its doors soon after, only to be reopened this April at the end of our final semester. Much like this campus icon, we too have undergone drastic transformations, whether they be in mind, body, or spirit. I reckon the differences we bear from our former selves who sat in Northrop on that autumn day are no less dramatic than the renovations of our beloved auditorium. Granted, architecturally speaking, we've also shared the collapse of the Metrodome's roof and its eventual demolition, but I don't have any metaphors for that. Now, I hate to admit it, but as much as I've tried to downplay the uncertainty which we will face after graduation, its presence is undeniable. In some ways, I reckon that the uncertainty of the next 4 days outweighs the previous 4 years I've spent in college. Thus, in the interest of maintaining oratorical balance, I'd like to leave you all with some final borrowed words, which will hopefully address any anxieties concerning the next stages of our lives. In the translated words of the Danish philosopher Søren Kierkegaard, life is a mystery to be lived, not a problem to be solved. And finally, if any of you student volunteers out there aspire to be a commencement speaker as I did, for your own sake, don't sample this speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Max. And boy, how is that for an indication of the quality of student that this college graduates? Huh? It's now my great honor and pleasure to introduce as today's keynote speaker, a man who has modeled the highest levels of leadership in public service, the Honorable R.T. Ryback. I assume everyone here knows R.T. Ryback as the 46th mayor of Minneapolis. But as he has amply demonstrated, there is life after politics. And for him, it's a life of continuing service in Minnesota communities. Today, R.T. Ryback is Executive Director of Generation Next, a coalition of civic, business, and education leaders that aims to close the achievement and opportunity gaps for students, particularly students of color, in Minneapolis and St. Paul. R.T. Ryback grew up in Minneapolis and spent almost 30 years working in journalism, business, and publishing before being elected in 2002 for what he describes as his dream job, mayor, a post he held until 2013. Among his accomplishments was making Minneapolis a national leader in innovative approaches to youth development. And high on his list of priorities was to address Minneapolis's achievement gap. To that end, he founded Minneapolis Promise, a collaboration to put young people on the path to success and to college readiness. A member program of that umbrella organization, called Step Up, was recognized by the White House as a national model of youth development. RT was a finalist for the 2008 World Mayor Award, and he has been recognized nationally as an after-school champion by the After School Alliance for his leadership in helping young people overcome barriers to success. In recent months, he's brought his leadership to our campus. This semester that has just ended, he taught a very popular course, Mayor 101, just the first of many classes he plans to teach at the university. We're going all to benefit from his presence here. Please join me in welcoming R.T. Ryback.
Thank you very much. And before you get too impressed with the always tweeting tech-savvy mayor, I want you to know that about half an hour ago, I took this wonderful speech I had for you guys, and I was moving to print it out, and I eliminated the entire file, okay? So ladies and gentlemen, we don't know how distinguished it is, but I promise to make it brief and get to the point. I want to start by asking you, the students, a question that I want you to pretend to answer with your parents not around, all right? How many of you had a good time last night? All right? How many of you plan to have a good time tonight? All right, that's good. I want you to have a sensational time. I want you to go out, have a great time, go to the graduation parties, kiss your aunt, kiss somebody you've wanted to for a long, long time. Go out, have a fantastic time tonight. Can you do that? That is really great, because I want you to have a good time, because if you listen to some of the people who've been telling us about what's about to happen, tomorrow is absolutely going to suck, okay? And the day after, and the week after, and the years after are going to be worse. In fact, if you listen to some of the people who I'm about to tell you you should not be listening to at all, they would tell you that this is the absolute high point of your life. It is all downhill from here. So have fun tonight, right? What they'll say to you is they'll probably start with the economy. And they'll say the economy is still pretty sluggish, and, you know, I guess I would have to say they're right. They would tell you that the world in every corner is torn apart by conflict and war, and it's increasingly difficult to see any way that people come together. And then we get to Washington, where it gets even worse, right? They'll tell you something that absolutely put chills up my spine, that a few days ago, an enormous hunk of the polar ice cap fell off, and that we are seeing the absolute, real, and tangible signs of climate change. That is absolutely, frighteningly, correctly right. All of that is true. My point to you is not that you shouldn't look at all of that, and in fact, you should look it in the eye. Open your eyes, but open them wide enough with a sense of awe and opportunity that you can see that you are actually coming out into the world at one of the most extraordinary times you could ever possibly enter. The entire way that we live is in the process of being reinvented. How our economy moves, the power that generates not only buildings like this, but our entire economy, the food we eat, the climate we have, the way we treat our land is all being reinvented in a way that for those who see the opportunity with those eyes open wide will realize extraordinary, extraordinary new futures. You are entering a remarkable, remarkable period of time. And if you don't believe that, if one of those wonderful, phenomenal family members you should be thanking so much starts to talk to you about the good old days, I want to, for just a quick minute, take us back to those good old days and remind you that the future that I walked into, as a child at least, was dramatically less exciting than the one you're about to walk into. When I was a little kid, my parents had a corner drugstore. It was at 26th and 4th Avenue. And if that address doesn't sound familiar to you, it shouldn't. It's not there anymore. It's in the middle of 35W. But that area was a pretty special area. My father was a white pharmacist who, by the way, was the first member of his family to go through college at the University of Minnesota. That white pharmacist depended on two African-American doctors, Dr. Johnson and Dr. Brown, to bring their prescriptions to our family's store. Our success and Dr. Brown and Dr. Johnson's family's success, and all of the residents that were served there were dependent on each other. That was the one part of this community at that period of time where black and white people did business together, worked together, and depended upon each other. But that changed very soon. The decision was made to take that area and an enormous swath through the center of South Minneapolis and tear it down to build a freeway. And as that happened, those neighborhoods separated and people went to their different places. The freeway allowed us to move past those neighborhoods, to speed quickly out to a new suburbia, where corner stores like my dad's were no longer at all needed because we had big box chains that had a remarkable sameness to each of them. We sped to suburban subdivisions. The incredible Minnesota landscape was concreted over. New lawns were planted. They all looked the same, lined with chemicals, every grass laying in the same direction. And so the America that was one of richness and connection changed to one of sameness and commodity. Welcome to Mad Men, the good old days that some people say were better than the ones you're part of. Then something remarkable began to happen. And it may have happened as they looked at those lawns and they kept trying to get rid of those weeds, and then they began to recognize those weren't weeds at all. Those are prairie flowers, and they were here before the rest of us, and they were beautiful. And people began to look at the fact that sameness and commodity were no longer necessities for us, and in fact, they were squelching all of us. We had taken the great American popular culture and put it in a blender, and it came out as mush. Those days ended. Not only did we change the great American lawn, but we began to look differently at virtually everything about it. Our music that had been dominated by top 40 became much more about indie. The local food movement was born, and here in this state, remarkable things are happening, where once again, Minnesotans, people of the land, who too often had been part of a food system was not serving us, began to plant in the soil native crops, local food, and begin to eat things that made us a healthier planet. That began to happen right here on our turf. And then what happened is within our cities, the neighborhoods where all the merchants used to look like me began to look very different. This humanitarian center, this community that had reached out around the globe and said, even in tough times, come here, be part of a new future. Everyone across the globe, come to Minnesota. We began to see a flowering in our neighborhoods. Those streets of University Avenue in St. Paul, and Nicollet Avenue's East Street, and Lake Street, and Central Avenue began to get populated with immigrants from all over the world, and that meant more than just great ethnic restaurants. It meant that the population of this community became far different. And that, in the introduction, the point that was made about the Step Up Summer Job Program, we took 18,000 kids, 86% kids of color, 50% of them from immigrant families, and put them in high-quality summer jobs, and I bet some of them are in this audience today. What we have done is take an incredible flowering of this community and literally reinvented who a Minnesotan is and what our future is. And the languages and the culture that came with us has given us an opportunity to be on the cusp of a great global workforce that will power you forward because of the diversity of who we are. In the first half of my childhood, I saw television go from black and white. In the first half of your lifetime, you are seeing every part of American culture go from black to white in the great reawakening that you now step your first foot out into. Congratulate yourself. It is a perfect time to be graduating. The only people who will not thrive in this new economy are those who look and see opportunity and step back. But one of the things that's wonderful about what you have right now that you should never lose, but it's going to be harder and harder from tomorrow forward and the day after harder and harder still after that, is that the gift of youth is also the gift of opportunity and optimism. The cynicism and the defeatism that comes as years go by often means that new opportunity can be frightening. That's our problem. It's not yours. Take a long, long time before you let that happen to you. You come from the University of Minnesota. You're incredibly prepared for this new future. Driven to Discover is not just a slogan on an envelope you'll be getting from the Alumni Association every month for the rest of your life. It is the hallmark of this great institution. And if you don't think this school itself is enough, recognize the fact that you are literally walking on ground that has been about reinvention and opportunity since the moment this planet was founded. The remarkable thing is, if you removed all of these buildings before they were here, before Minneapolis was here, in the pre-settlement era, this spot, literally right where we are, is exactly where the great American woods ended and the great American prairie began. So what would happen is that Native people would come to this spot through the great woods and pioneers after them, and they would walk in near darkness day after day through what must have been beautiful forest, but you could barely see in front of your eye. And then, right as you came to literally this spot, you would hear that roar of St. Anthony Falls, and then you would look out on the prairie, and for the first time in days, you could see forever. You could see to the horizon. That's what this place is about. It is a place to see horizon and possibility. Those people who came here before any of these buildings were here would look out to the west and not know what was there, and their impulse was to keep going. Go to the horizon, and when you get there, take us with you. Very best to all of you. You'll have a great future.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. And now the moment we've all been waiting for. I would like to ask the following members of the faculty to step forward to present the degrees. Serge Ruda, University Honors Program Director. Jennifer Windsor, CLA Associate Dean for Undergraduate Programs. Gary Oldert, CLA Associate Dean for Planning. Alexandra Rothman, CLA Associate Dean for Research and Graduate Programs. and Tom Clayton, Regents Professor of English. Students of the class of 2014, you will cross the stage one by one as your name is read. After you have all returned to your seats, please remain seated until the end of the program. Your commencement is not complete until Regent Richard Beeson confers your degrees, at which time you will move your tassel from the right of your mortarboard to the left side. Just a couple of announcements before we begin. First is a question. Do any of you as students have a smartphone? If you do, and if it's with you, please take it out now and get ready to tweet. Page 3 in your program lists the 2014 CLA Commencement hashtag. Use this, if you would, please, to share your pictures and memories of today's events. Second, I have an important request for families and friends. You are certainly welcome to cheer and applaud your graduating student. That's part of the celebration, and we all want to participate in that. But do please remember that every graduate wants to hear his or her name called and wants family and friends to hear it too. So we ask you to be considerate and make sure your cheers don't drown out the names of the next student in the line. Now, on to the business.
I am pleased to read the names of the honors degree candidates in the College of Liberal Arts. Students graduating with Latin honors have participated in a rigorous academic program, culminating in an honors thesis presenting original creative work done under the direction of a faculty supervisor or mentor. Successful completion of an honors degree requires taking honors courses and seminars, as well as participating in research, scholarship, or other independent work, both within and outside of the major. It also requires maintaining a grade point average of at least 3.50 through the last 2 years of study. Students graduate with the Latin honors distinctions cum laude, magna cum laude, or summa cum laude based on their GPA and the quality of their thesis work. Stephanie Morse Noland.
Emily Collins.
Amelia Eno.
Alicia Bohannon.
Laura Hogeveen.
Erin Lengas.
Anne Bonanno.
Ariel Oglesby.
Valerie Arndt.
Si Zhao.
Laura Smith.
Melot Tububu.
Catherine Stoneberg.
Hannah Castle.
Kayla Hothout.
Colette Freehan.
Colleen Kim.
Tui Bui.
Christine Allen.
Alison Collins.
Megan Ryan.
Julia Irwin.
Brenna Godar.
Shelby Pierpo.
Luke Jervis.
Lucas Peterson.
Megan Spangers.
Maxwell Davis.
Adrienne Ermiter.
Grant Winkles.
Emma Childs.
Cassandra Hendricks.
Maura McManus.
Isaac Wicker.
Abdullah Abdi.
Chelsea Farmer.
Kristen Carlin.
Cheng Zhong.
Elizabeth Slama.
Mei Vang.
Am I supposed to stop now?
Dean Duval, it is my pleasure to present the 2014 College of Liberal Arts Honors Degree candidates.
We have one student not with us today, but I'd like to say her name. Hannah Murphy.
Natalie Bauer.
Tiffany Ratsamy.
Mary Spethman.
Bo Bincio.
Taylor Campbell.
Maria Fucino.
Serena Grill.
Lena Lee.
Stephanie Foote.
Elena Witt.
Liliana Anaya Meja.
Kalia Jong.
Nikki Triantafilo.
Michaela Bidor.
Justin Page.
Brian Culbertson.
Allison Hawthorne.
Alison Chang.
Whitney Cragen.
Lauren Malkel.
Margaret Steinhoffel.
Megan McDougall.
Samantha Lynch.
Madeline Arneson.
Alyssa Helfer.
Samantha Henry.
Jessica Brandt.
Taylor Bartelt.
Kristen Covell.
Kelly Adams.
Kristen Tusa.
Nika Antoinette.
Elizabeth Schneider.
Sophie Thaden.
Christina Mansinski.
Bridget McGuinness.
Lauren Mueller.
Tanya Costa.
Eric Kolash.
Kiona Kellogg.
Carly Mills.
Megan Newis.
Benjamin Side.
Michael Lopez.
Thomas Bratland.
Natalia Espana.
Jason Trimble.
Jessica Sanko.
Channing Alto.
Chloe Han.
Derek Shanka.
Brittany Peacher Collin.
Emily Cooper.
Alison McNulty.
Sean Woods.
Shannon Lawhorn.
Jacob Gray.
Emily Poland.
Yessie Shu.
Shauna Zielinski.
Chanel Watkins.
Bethany Waldron.
Rosie Gates.
Aaron Lewis.
Yiga Fan.
Angela McCullough.
Ji Yin.
Emma Sutke.
Sierra DeMulder.
Annetta Piscola.
Scott Martin.
Ashley Miller.
Justine Tadawal.
Nicole Woodall.
Julia Burke.
Timothy Garay.
Emily Radigan.
Catherine Mason.
Travis Farm Franks.
Paige Peterson.
Elizabeth Erickson.
Molly Harris.
Allison Turnberg.
Taylor Sellers.
Chelsea Finnegan.
Yi Jia.
Sarah Sengpanya.
Kelly Peterson.
Danielle Dullinger.
Kaylin Oktara.
Bradley Hansen.
Haley Murs.
Kayla Fett.
Colleen Case.
Nicole Sotolova.
Felicia Phelm Lee.
Christopher Sen.
Michael Sarno.
Mariah Muzel.
Eric Best.
Lacey Jo Brown.
Lauren Thomas.
Megan Alger.
David Jones.
Lucy Q.
Minseung Kang.
Anna Provolotsky.
Kyusong Sim.
Angel Cesari.
Perez Vecox Holmes.
Sarun Solomon.
Morgan Roberts.
Vanessa Uko.
Sukaina Ali.
Rose Ganji.
Maureen Nihus.
Kayla DeWaters.
Sin Wong.
Megumi Iwasaki.
Angela Ross.
Matthew Park.
Anthony Malagnon.
Jillian Davis.
Rachel Ebis.
Robin Strelo.
Su Sang Yong.
Rachel Nelson.
Na Young Kim.
Allison Miller.
Lindsay Gominski.
Michaela Westerfield.
Stephanie Gooley.
Zawade Mbele.
Alexandra Scalarood.
Bria Sanders.
Nicole Ewald.
Stephen Peltier Jr.
Hee-jong Kwan.
Kanan Lewis.
Morgan Yonke.
Stephanie Kalman.
Madeline Hankey.
Andrea Belgrade.
Alexander Fox.
Laura Doe.
Adam Halter.
Andrea Pasola.
Tyler Himley.
Allison Small.
Adam Hirsch.
Kayla Guzman.
Eamon T.
Jade Lomele.
Celine Taslim.
Rachel Patterson.
Amanda Song Yu Lo.
Aaron Thielen.
Taylor Zastro.
Molly Wepler.
Cody Narvison.
Lucas Sleeper.
Lindaia Chevra.
John Holloway.
Derek Lanzadel.
Benjamin Anderson.
Joseph Van Koppel.
Catherine Larson.
Mario Arico.
Angela Ebbinger.
Josh Brennick.
Catherine McCann.
Jillian Jacob.
Lucas Hubrex.
Tyler Bridges.
Guya Zhang.
Michelle Wormuth.
Luping Wang.
Amanda Waterslow.
Alexander Amachi.
Mark Chan.
Vanessa Barnes.
Sirshu Mikman.
Seth Wester.
Andy Johannes.
Kelsey Gierock.
Stephen Forsyth.
Megan Lucan.
Michael Fix.
April Dawn Valette.
Nicholas Legler.
Ankita Sawe.
Alex Novak.
Vishaka Mathur.
Nathan Einhorn.
Derek Freezy.
Betsy Struve.
Emily May Pipcorn.
Caitlin Hendrickson.
Samuel Carlin.
Amanda Paul.
Lauren Sauer.
Alyssa Anderson.
Austin Voigt.
Martin Navarrete.
Nusima Omar.
Ashley Litzo.
Evan Slater.
Wyand Hassas.
Carrie Svensson.
Ashley Dow.
Anna Bjork.
Jenny Langari.
Paige Begeman.
Nayeli Montoya.
Jenna Wilcox.
Louise Gutierrez.
Mary Abel.
Jennifer Johnson Roloff.
Maeve Sullivan.
Ryan Thill.
Lucas Bachman.
Heejin Lee.
Erica Biananimi.
Catherine Botts.
Kelsey Merton.
Kathleen Wright.
Kit Lurdkidkitten.
Hillary Neary.
Jennifer Liu.
Yelana Maric.
Catherine Earhart.
Megan O'Connor.
Courtney Paul.
Naomi Doe.
Devaney Volk.
Jennifer Lyon.
Wendy Ajay.
Catherine Melton.
Umbia Belwa.
Nuith Orm.
Victor Levy.
Anna Aller.
Alice Appleby.
Ho Kwan Lok.
Maria Matson.
Gina Van Ash.
Jenna Krogstad.
Caitlin Kurtz.
Kayla Landgren.
Jacqueline Tyson.
Andrew Morris.
Hannah Carrolls.
Gabriel Hilden Reed.
Colleen Crick.
Peter Thorstad.
Derek Grunes.
Michaela Wagner.
Christina Range.
Katie Hansen.
Tessa Lee.
Catherine Lorette.
Peter Iverson.
Marcy Cohen.
Amy Bakum.
Jinxiao Chi.
Madison Hilborn.
Thomas White.
Emily Holland.
Mien Suk No.
Sheng Vu. Nope.
Sua Chu.
Winnie Lin.
Zhang Min Li.
David Nelson.
Joshua Park.
Lily Wing.
Jihi Cha.
Teresa Crescent.
Kyungwon Kwan.
Mary Claire Lavelle.
Heather Kaus.
Kelly Deering.
Amy Hart.
Jared Smith.
Ryan Pandel.
Cassie Van Derzen.
Molly Bush.
Sophia Corey.
Molly Wangenbecker.
Alex Rosenbaum.
Jordan Goheski.
Gabrielle Garcia Paredes.
Rebecca Blomquist.
Emery Torreson.
Taylor Kuchera.
Nivedita Roberts.
Paige Weber.
Shante Benford.
Sean Ferguson.
Priya Vamvondar.
Tony Hui.
Andrew Thompson.
William Black.
Brittany Ward.
Courtney Chirpick.
Brian Call.
Yulia Patlata.
Win-win.
Sarah Kemmer.
Chamun Zhong.
Isaac Hatch Gillette.
Habakkuk Stockstill.
Brittany Kistner.
Ho Lam Ming.
Zeman Chu.
Janine Chambers.
Xingli Liu.
Chu Yang.
Long Q Chan.
Alyssa Blank.
Ka Yu Yip.
Alexander Raker.
Yang Shi Lim.
Kunchuk Lamo.
Xinyi Shi.
Emily Den Boer.
Daniel Chow.
Laura Larand.
Bohan Lee.
Joni Christensen.
Caitlin Kinzer.
Brittany Hunt.
Nicolette McMahon.
Haben Tesfaye.
Molly Jokamaki.
Kayla Torreson.
Brittany Brown.
Brian Miller.
Kristen Stockton.
Emily Sui.
Joseph Fernstall.
Kelsey Carlson.
Caitlin Early.
Anna Miller.
Anna Badman.
Holly Harrington.
Alexandra Palmer.
GC Chen.
Rachel Saunders.
Dalina Brown Jackson.
Audrey Lee.
Glenna Chukama Harding.
Alexandra Kursal.
Gabriella Bonilla.
Alexandra Sims.
Julius Stokes.
Rachel Fellows.
Brian Mahoney.
Yvette Wynn.
Jeffrey Silty.
Nadine Pham.
Sarah Johnson.
Selena Hera Bishop.
Heather Veglin.
Jeffrey Johnson.
Daniel Lindsay.
John Bond-Rikus.
Laura Moran.
Ann Tomporowski.
David Anderson.
Misha Meyer.
Carly Knowles.
Jessica Marie Phillips.
Sarah Harper.
Michelle Pritchard.
Maithre Yire.
Bianca Bodine.
Griffin Filipich.
Ilham Noor.
Pua Tao.
Marian Abdi.
May Lee.
Uba Hersey.
Tang Lee.
Lana Trindoff.
Jessica Franklin.
Sadie Norland.
Alexis Hernandez Abreu.
S.K. Rafat Morshed.
Hinjin Kim.
Palbaksha Sideki.
Huyan Shim.
Colin Davis.
Hyungso Kim.
Katarina Iskola.
Leola Sears.
Christopher Hammerly.
Sarah Manessi.
Zachary Montgomery.
Nazarene Habib.
Daniel Gravier.
Hold up. Ruth Banner.
Alicia Oliver.
Alexander Schneider.
Joseph Larson.
Timothy Lano.
Sydney Vang.
Alexandra Errett. Thank you.
Jordan Kuhn.
Shunta Sasaki.
Robert Vossen.
Hold it. Tai Do.
Jonathan Norala.
Connie Du.
Kirsten Lerwick. Sorry.
Olivia Hansen.
Taufik Sani.
Emily Nowak.
Anabi Chu.
Reed Kotz.
Ayaho Shikanai.
Peyton Galagli.
Lydia Arendt.
Anthony Ratnaraj.
Jermaine Yue.
Janice Bitters.
Mashita Shaharuddin.
Bashir Wasami.
Kim Yong-Fi.
John Gangelhoff III.
Enthel Tong.
Amber Meyer.
Ashley Wong.
Samantha Tuttle.
Zining Lee.
Megan Nelson.
Denise Su Lin Wong.
Erin Germer.
Sarah C.
Brianna Powers.
Heidi Cameron.
Ashley Pearl.
David Paulfus.
Samantha Grimmer.
Elizabeth Doherty.
Ryan Muralt.
Matea Meyer.
Lauren Mack.
Danielle James.
Taylor Labreche.
Rebecca Curtis.
Ellen Freund.
Mark Lehman.
Alexander Yang.
Madeline Reeby.
Erin Holden.
Michelle Schultz.
Trevor Lucky.
Rachel Moen.
Jeffrey Hargarten.
Moira Ducharme.
Lisa Keecher.
Leah Flanagan.
Sharif Omar Taylor.
Jordan Weishart.
Elisa Teal.
Dominique Bowler.
Patrick Hott.
Brittany Weiss.
Abdirahman Iman.
Devin Peters.
Tiffany Munya.
Nahili Workman.
Bayan.
Noah Reitz.
Mahad Muhammad.
Caitlin Wright.
Mukhtar Farah.
Megan Fleming.
Ikran Hilole.
Alexandra Swatik.
Azjad Garibala.
Kelsey Hokum.
Emily Andorfer.
Alyssa Corsa.
Samantha Peterson.
Benjamin Smeby.
Jack Carlson.
Erin Parsons.
Tana Fuchs.
Emily Thorson.
Eric van der Voste.
Jane Okerman.
Connor Everts.
Jenna Lashinsky.
Margaret Shanahan.
Austin Dukic.
John Schweiger.
Samuel Anderson.
John Ford.
Timothy Salzer.
Emily Elwood.
Cara Black.
Kelly Lynch.
Kelsey Nguyen.
Brooke Binsfield.
Mimi Pasavanton.
Eric Kelly.
Chua Shaw.
Alicia Wales.
Grace Lansing.
Elise Poppen.
Rhea Jentz.
Charles Kelly.
Katrin Schneider.
Tana Usselman.
Renisha Ford.
Marie Zimmerman.
Amanda Kopecki.
Alyssa Faber.
Faith Cogler.
Alexander Brash.
Mia Garcia.
Matthew Abdo.
Samantha Miller.
Benjamin Fleischman.
Jennifer Lockhart.
Laura Cirilla.
Julian O.
Rebecca Underwood.
Andrea Grace.
Jens Joseph.
Ashley Sieben-Nayer.
Ellen Rock.
Brianna Meyer.
Teresa Lau.
Jennifer Wolf.
Antoinette Krasinski.
Abby Seashore.
Jennifer Hendrickson.
Annalisa Huge.
Changqi Peng.
Rebecca Davis.
Henry Knerth.
Brianna Steinkamp.
Thomas Yang.
Hillary Gibney.
Tiona Kellerman.
Natalie Lohan.
Jennifer Johansson.
Zoe Leschek.
Hannibal Gulick.
Tyler Iverson.
Matthew Herbert.
Max Woodward.
Mangji Jin.
Lauren Panos.
Bethany Browson.
Morgan Benoy.
Margaret Rose Coleman.
Nadia Asadi.
Kelly Ann Huber.
Rachel Skog.
Rebecca Allen.
Elise Rosina.
Luke Hookreen.
Winfred Bates.
Kevin Somakawa.
Daniel Blazik.
Catherine Bourgeois.
Kelsey Fays.
Khalid Hussein.
Z-Chain Lee.
Tay Tang.
Marina Budilovsky.
Tuan Chu.
Haley Bemo.
Ashley Heredia.
Anna McLean.
Damiana Supika.
Catherine Brown.
Caitlin Schweiger.
Logan Strong.
Kira Phillips.
Jason Ryder.
Mackenzie Purtell.
Jennifer Shabilsky.
Kayla Shriver.
Paul Julon.
Nicole Barker.
Kevin Martin.
Sarah Bentley.
Connor Gleason.
Brianna Sievers.
Lauren Fabry.
Aaron Konup.
Randy Franken.
Andrew Anik.
Trey Peterson.
Gretchen Edholm.
Colette Bell.
Will Henningsen.
Abigail Molzon.
Emily Anderson.
Sophia Riggleman.
Liesl Schilly.
Kelsey Schwartz.
Jay Wu.
Elisa Bloom.
Pak Yung Ling.
Katie Christensen.
Tyrion Lannister.
Whitney Swanson.
Christina Maples.
Abigail Shapiro.
Alison Wilcox.
Ashley Skelly.
Alison Morrow.
Lauren Metzler.
Rebecca Farrow.
Laura Marinin.
Bronwyn Williams.
Samuel Burt.
Emily Dolly.
Karen Elizondo.
Sophia Alfano.
Lauren Carpenter.
Brady Knudsen.
Thomas Welly.
Abigail Fournier.
Holly Olson.
Lisa McGurr.
Caitlin Foy.
Brian McAvoy.
Alice Richardson.
Olia Wefnothun C.
Samuel Smet.
Banjoko. Close.
Samuel Smet. Ryan.
Pegeen Lamb.
Ryan Shea.
Emma Westerland.
Nathan Rue.
Kelly Jorgensen.
Mary Frances Harris.
Ashley Gillis.
Vanira Bolidami.
Merritt Landsteiner.
Jessica Bemlot.
Devon Ward.
Jacob Applin.
Bailey Alto.
DeAndre Sully Coleman.
Gregory Holton.
Matthew Peterson.
Hope McCullough.
Jacqueline Rodriguez.
Elias Yoakum.
Benjamin Post.
Laura Schmidt.
Marisa Bowser.
Anthony Wagner.
Sarah Potzman.
Ellen Kranz.
Megan Budig.
Alexa Montesa.
Alexis Salem.
Jessica Meza.
Stephanie Lester.
Haley Glynn.
Lindsay Baker.
Haley McCullough.
Kristen Coonrod.
Adam McGregor.
Aubrey Nelson.
Jacqueline Shelton.
Annie Michelson.
Jessica Hockley.
Rebecca Lauer.
Elizabeth Idy.
Lindsay Smith.
Caitlin Cardinal.
Claire Hassel.
Melissa Tolzman.
Amanda Bell. Abel. Sorry.
Maureen Henderson.
Amanda Ouellette.
Christine Kieser. Summer Mengelkov.
Abigail Rice.
Daniel Thompson.
Aaron Minkema.
Teal Johansson.
Amy Cosart.
Annalie Nelson.
Brett Stoppelstad.
Alexandra Shokensey.
Katerina Nemkova.
Amanda Zulager.
Aaron Abayara.
Haley Anderson.
Aaron Montemuro.
Gospel Giwa.
Lauren Kreft.
Seong Bing Jeong.
Devin Hemerick.
Denise Ganano-Bedwa.
Samuel Gordon.
Iwa Gloria Kim.
Dane Mitsutani.
Michelle Coe.
Jace Frederick.
Ryan Kelly.
Garrison Shepard.
Megan Droga.
Lucas Peterson.
Yayi Wang.
Stephen Oman.
Connor Souls.
Nick Tabbert.
Nicholas Hallett.
Eric Mueller.
Lisa Evanson.
Nathaniel Gottlieb.
Lauren Ramirez.
Frank Liang.
Laura Peterson.
Keichul Yu.
Napoleon Patsoulis.
Andrew Contreras.
Jennifer Ralph.
Tegan Carr.
Carly Meltzer.
Annette Hebner.
Janessa Ottenus.
Esawag.
Marit Plowman.
Aaron Stephanie.
Alexander Peterson.
Jeffrey Barabbas.
Alexander Kraling.
Shenying Zhao.
Jordi Kolk.
Yunwen Liu.
Zachary McKeague.
Isabel Espenson.
Aaron Dubois.
Melanie Newman.
Bora Lee.
Dane Odland.
Lao Yang.
Patrick Loughlin.
Si Yang.
Logan Soames.
Tom Wang. Yang.
Eric Zimmerman.
Brian Johnson.
Ian Kopp.
Dongji Hong.
Nicolette Bowman.
Moses Waiswa.
Jessica Korp.
Christopher Nguyen.
Jared Veneer.
Audrey Blankenheim.
Kyle Stowe.
Robert Zimmerman.
Aaron Lemire.
Sawyer Gibbs.
Pamela Paulina Bergiolette.
Savannah Dahlstrom.
Megan Ghosh.
Leanne Erickson.
Ariana Krochowski.
Brittany Sweeney.
Abby Gabelli.
Hannah Woodbury.
Alexander Simpson.
Lucas Caney.
Dylan McConaughey.
Reed Stock.
Brett Lee.
Kevin Price.
Cassandra Matheson.
Amy Silla.
Maxwell Elliott.
Misha LaPlante.
Emily Homuth.
Alexandra Montes.
Monica Staples.
Zoe Satoff.
Carly Rosine.
Brandon Van Hee.
Fawn Chen.
Stephanie Beam.
Nicolette Seifert.
Miran Motavase.
Chelsea White.
Isaac Conlon Caval.
Laura Jolly.
Ashley Whaley.
Lee C. Armstrong.
Huting Chu.
Erica Hinchcliffe.
Rebecca Ellis.
Kevin Nelson.
Eva Mueller.
Christina Walsh.
Harem O.
David Steinman.
Yong Jin Kim.
Christian Endequay.
Harim Lee.
Amanda Seberg.
Saddam Park.
Christine Sack.
Brendan Aldridge.
Mariam Shiduna.
Jordan Harrison.
Jenna Daly. Jenna Daly.
I'll try. Ezenegma McCarkey.
Allison Seberg.
Dexter Foreman.
Jody Lawrence.
Idalia Robles de Leon.
Lindsay Geyer.
Min Kim.
Jimmy Maldonado.
Delima Dion.
David Vanderwarn.
Lu Lu.
Andy Gobrown.
Christina Avasano.
Isabella Nascimento.
Anna Williams.
Habib Salam.
Sir Diong.
Anthony Assad.
Arba Meko.
Devin Grimsrud.
Parker Hoffman.
Minjong Park.
Nicolette Forsyth.
Nuri Hur.
Justin Miller.
Seo Young Oh.
Evan Paul Yachumson.
Chelsea Vogel.
Duncan Yachumson.
Catherine Keller.
Cole Lyon.
Patrick Yang.
Mitchell Koshinosh.
Coriander Moore.
William Quaney.
Maki Key.
Evan Moran.
Asuka Suzaki.
Anya Steiner.
Hui Bai.
Jake Potinga. Raoul Schwa. Monica Strelniks. Lauren Seberg. Zane Halstead. Max Utterberg. Greg Sikowski. Kelsey Leroy. Danielle Hindi. Andrew Johnson. Erin Hockanen. Erica Hockanen. Royal Sonsala. Alison Cinnavon. Stephanie Schultz. Aaron Asplund. And with apologies to all students whose names I may have mispronounced, we have one final member of our graduating class. Goldie Gopher. Dean Duvall. It is my pleasure to present the 2014 College of Liberal Arts degree candidates.
And it is my pleasure, in turn, to ask Richard Beeson, Chair of the University's Board of Regents, to formally confer the degrees. Regent Beeson, I'm honored to present to you the candidates who have completed requirements for College of Liberal Arts degrees.
Good afternoon, Dean Duvall. Thank you for inviting me to be here today. On behalf of the University of Minnesota Board of Regents, President Kaler, I'm honored to preside at this commencement. To the graduates, I extend congratulations. We're here to celebrate not only your academic accomplishments, but also your potential to make a positive difference in the next stage of your lives. And as Mayor Rybeck said, be prepared to be surprised. The difference you're going to make is going to be in an area completely different than what you think. I started out as a CLA graduate 35 years ago, began my career as a city planner for 10 years, and then I became a bank president for 20 years. Who would have thought? And who would have thought I would be here today with the University of Minnesota Board of Regents? So move among and between the sectors, private, public, and nonprofit, and be prepared to be surprised along the way, good surprises. Well, let's make this official, shall we? Okay. Would the students please rise? Okay. Upon the recommendation of the faculty, and by authority of the University of Minnesota Board of Regents, I now confer upon you the degrees for which you've qualified. Congratulations, Class 2014 CLA. Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you, Regent Beeson. If you have not already moved your tassel, let me invite you to do so at this moment, shifting it from right to left, to declare to the world that you are now a graduate of the University of Minnesota. Hearty, hearty congratulations, graduates, and congratulations, family and friends. Everyone in this room has many reasons to be proud of the work that these students have done and the accomplishments that they will take with them into the communities of Minnesota and the world. We will be proud, as members of the CLA community, we will be proud to welcome each of you back on your next visit to campus as alumni of the College of Liberal Arts at the University of Minnesota. Let's now let the celebration begin. In closing, let us all join Philip Zawisza in singing Hail Minnesota, and then the celebration can begin.
Minnesota.